There was a time when the world believed Michael Jordan was unstoppable. Millions watched him soar above defenders, hit impossible shots, and carry the hopes of entire cities on his shoulders. His name became larger than basketball itself. To many, he seemed almost superhuman, a man untouched by failure, fear, or weakness. But behind every legend is a story few people truly understand. Long before the championships, the billion-dollar empire, and the global fame, Michael Jordan was simply a young boy searching for his place in the world. He faced rejection, doubt, and disappointment. The journey that transformed him into the greatest basketball player of all time began not with victory, but with heartbreak. And that heartbreak would shape the rest of his life. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born on February 17, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York. He was the fourth of 5 children born to James and Dolores Jordan. His father worked hard to provide for the family, while his mother emphasized education, discipline, and responsibility. When Michael was still young, the family moved to Wilmington, North Carolina. It was there that he spent most of his childhood. Unlike the larger-than-life figure the world would eventually come to know, young Michael was energetic, competitive, and constantly trying to prove himself. Competition filled the Jordan household. Whether it was sports, games, or simple family challenges, nobody wanted to lose. That environment helped shape Michael's personality. His father became one of the most important influences in his life. James Jordan encouraged his children to work hard and earn success rather than expect it. Those lessons stayed with Michael forever. As a child, Michael loved sports. Baseball was actually his first passion. Like many young boys, he dreamed of becoming a professional athlete. He spent countless hours practicing and competing against his older brother Larry. Those battles with Larry were often difficult. Larry was shorter than Michael would eventually become, but during their younger years he was stronger and more physically developed. Michael lost frequently, and every loss fueled his desire to improve. Even then, something unique was developing inside him. A relentless refusal to accept defeat. At school, Jordan was known as a friendly and active student. He was not considered a basketball prodigy. In fact, few people could have predicted what he would eventually become. As he entered high school, basketball started taking a more important role in his life. He joined teams, practiced relentlessly, and dreamed of making a name for himself. Then came one of the most famous moments in sports history. As a sophomore at Emsley A. Laney High School, Jordan tried out for the varsity basketball team. He did not make it. The coaching staff selected other players, including a taller teammate, while Jordan was assigned to the junior varsity squad. For many teenagers, that rejection might have been devastating enough to end the dream. For Michael Jordan, it became fuel. He later recalled how painful the experience was. He went home disappointed and emotional. But instead of quitting, he transformed that frustration into motivation. Every practice became a mission. Every workout became an opportunity. Every criticism became a challenge. Jordan spent countless hours improving his game. He worked on his shooting, athleticism, footwork, and conditioning. He pushed himself harder than most players around him. The results came quickly. By his junior year, he had grown physically and dramatically improved as a player. Soon, college scouts began paying attention. What started as rejection was becoming the foundation of greatness. His performances attracted national attention, and eventually he earned an opportunity to attend the University of North Carolina, one of the most respected basketball programs in America. It was a life-changing moment. Under legendary coach Dean Smith, Jordan entered an environment filled with elite talent and enormous expectations. Many freshmen struggled to find their place on major college teams. Jordan was different. His athletic ability, confidence, and willingness to learn quickly made an impact. Then came the night that changed everything. In March 1982, during the NCAA championship game against Georgetown University, North Carolina found itself locked in a tense battle. With the game hanging in the balance, Coach Smith trusted the freshman. Michael Jordan received the ball and calmly knocked down a jump shot with just seconds remaining. The shot gave North Carolina the lead and ultimately secured the national championship. In one moment, a young player became a national name. Years later, Jordan would say that shot gave him confidence he could perform under pressure on the biggest stage. It was the beginning of something extraordinary. Over the next several seasons, He continued developing into one of the most exciting players in college basketball. His scoring ability, competitiveness, and athleticism separated him from nearly everyone else. Scouts were now watching closely. NBA executives saw a player with rare talent. Fans saw a future star. And Michael Jordan saw something even bigger. He saw unfinished business. The young man who had once been cut from a high school varsity team was now standing on the edge of professional basketball. The dream that began in Wilmington was about to collide with the biggest stage in the sport. But nobody, not the scouts, not the coaches, not even Jordan himself, could fully understand what was about to happen next. Because the moment he entered the NBA, basketball would never be the same again. In 1984, Michael Jordan stood at a crossroads. He had already become one of the most exciting young players in college basketball, but the world had no idea that a revolution was about to begin. The NBA was searching for its next generation of stars, and one franchise desperately needed hope. That franchise was the Chicago Bulls. Selected third overall in the 1984 NBA draft, Jordan arrived in Chicago carrying enormous expectations. Yet even the most optimistic fans could not have predicted what would happen next. From the moment he stepped onto an NBA court, he looked different. Faster, more explosive, more fearless. Defenders struggled to contain him. Crowds filled arenas just to watch him play. During his rookie season, he averaged over 28 points per game and immediately became one of the league's biggest attractions. He won NBA Rookie of the Year and quickly transformed the Bulls from an overlooked franchise into one of basketball's most talked-about teams. But individual success was not enough. Michael Jordan wanted to win, and winning would prove far more difficult than scoring points. Throughout the late 1980s, Jordan established himself as arguably the most talented player in basketball. He produced incredible performances night after night. Fans witnessed scoring explosions that seemed impossible. Opposing coaches designed entire defensive systems to slow him down. Yet one obstacle continued standing in his way. The Detroit Pistons. Known as the Bad Boys, Detroit built a physical defensive strategy specifically designed to wear Jordan down. Year after year, the Bulls fell short in the playoffs. For many players, repeated disappointment might have led to frustration or excuses. Jordan responded differently. He worked harder. He trained harder. He became stronger physically and mentally. His obsession with improvement became legendary. Teammates often described practices that felt as intense as actual games. Jordan demanded excellence from everyone around him because he demanded even more from himself. Then, in 1991, everything changed. The Chicago Bulls finally defeated Detroit and advanced to the NBA Finals. 4 years, Jordan had chased this moment. Now it was his. The Bulls defeated the Los Angeles Lakers, and Michael Jordan captured his first NBA championship. The image of him holding the championship trophy while overcome with emotion became one of the defining moments of his career. It was not just a title, it was validation. The boy who had once been cut from his high school varsity team had reached the summit of professional basketball. And he wasn't finished. The Bulls won again in 1992, then again in 1993. 3 consecutive championships transformed Jordan from superstar into global icon. Around the world, children copied his moves on playgrounds. Television ratings soared whenever he played. His jersey became one of the most recognizable pieces of sports apparel on earth. But another phenomenon was growing alongside his basketball career. Air Jordan. What began as a partnership with Nike evolved into one of the most successful business relationships in sports history. When the first Air Jordan sneakers were released, few could have imagined the cultural impact they would create. The shoes became more than athletic equipment. They became symbols. Generations of fans wanted to wear what Michael Jordan wore. The Air Jordan brand grew into a global empire worth billions of dollars, forever changing the relationship between athletes and business. As his wealth expanded, so did his influence. Jordan was no longer just a basketball player. He was becoming one of the most famous people on the planet. With that fame came enormous pressure. Every performance was analyzed. Every decision made headlines. Every success raised expectations even higher. Few people understood what it meant to carry that burden. Fans expected perfection. Sponsors expected excellence. The media demanded constant access. and opponents treated every game against Jordan like the biggest challenge of their careers. The pressure never stopped. Behind the championships and endorsements was a man living under a microscope. His competitive drive often pushed him to extremes. Stories emerged about his relentless nature, his refusal to accept losing, and his determination to dominate every challenge. For Jordan, greatness was never accidental. It required sacrifice. It required discipline. And sometimes it required giving up parts of a normal life that most people take for granted. Even as his fame reached unprecedented heights, major changes were unfolding away from the basketball court. The victories continued. The money continued. The global admiration continued. But life was becoming more complicated. In 1993, after leading Chicago to a third consecutive championship, Jordan shocked the sports world by announcing his retirement from basketball. Fans were stunned. How could the greatest player in the world walk away at the peak of his powers? The answer was far more personal than most people realized. The years ahead would bring unexpected challenges, emotional losses, dramatic comebacks, and life-changing decisions that would test Jordan in ways basketball never could. The next chapter of his story would reveal that even the most celebrated athlete on earth could not escape the realities of grief, change, and the hidden costs of greatness. For most athletes, retirement marks the end of the spotlight. For Michael Jordan, it was simply the beginning of a different kind of challenge. By the time he stepped away from basketball, he had already achieved what many considered impossible. Championships, MVP awards, global fame, and financial success had placed him in a category occupied by very few people in history. Yet life after basketball would prove that greatness on the court does not automatically guarantee peace away from it. One of the most painful moments in Jordan's life came in 1993 with the tragic loss of his father, James Jordan. The bond between father and son had been extraordinarily close. James had been one of Michael's biggest supporters from childhood, encouraging his competitive spirit and helping shape the values that guided him throughout his career. The loss deeply affected Jordan. Many observers believe it played a major role in his first retirement from basketball. Suddenly, the game that had always been his refuge no longer felt the same. The man who had shared so many of his triumphs was gone. For someone who seemed invincible to the world, it was a reminder that no amount of fame or success can protect a person from grief. Jordan initially pursued professional baseball, honoring a dream his father had once encouraged. While his baseball career did not reach the heights of his basketball success, it revealed another side of his character. He was willing to risk failure in public, something many superstars would never dare to do. Eventually, basketball called him back. In 1995, he delivered two words that instantly became legendary. "I'm back." The announcement electrified the sports world. Jordan returned to the Chicago Bulls and resumed his pursuit of championships. What followed only strengthened his legacy. The Bulls captured 3 more NBA titles in 1996, 1997, and 1998. Their 72-win season in 1995-96 became one of the most dominant campaigns in league history. Jordan once again stood at the center of the basketball universe. Yet even during these glorious years, the demands of greatness never disappeared. The constant travel, the endless scrutiny, the responsibility of carrying a global brand, the pressure of living up to impossible expectations. These burdens followed him every day. When Jordan retired again after the 1998 season, many believed his playing career was finally over. But the competitive fire still burned. In 2001, he returned once more, this time with the Washington Wizards. Although he was no longer the explosive athlete of his younger years, he continued to compete at a remarkably high level. The comeback revealed something important about Jordan. Basketball had never been just a profession. It was part of his identity. Walking away completely was never easy. Eventually, however, time catches every athlete. No matter how talented, no matter how determined, no matter how legendary. Jordan retired for the final time in 2003. The chapter that followed would focus not on scoring points but on building an empire. Over the years, Jordan became one of the most successful athlete businessmen in history. His ownership stake in the Charlotte Hornets represented one of the most significant achievements of his post-playing career. He became the first former NBA player to become the majority owner of an NBA franchise. The move demonstrated that his ambitions extended far beyond basketball. He wanted to succeed in business the same way he had succeeded in sports. 4 years, Jordan guided the franchise through challenges and changes while continuing to expand his already vast business interests. Then came another major milestone. In 2023, he agreed to sell his majority ownership stake in the Charlotte Hornets. The transaction marked the end of an important era in his professional life. For many observers, the sale symbolized another transition, another reminder that time moves forward, another chapter closing. Financially, Jordan's success has been extraordinary. His partnerships, investments, and the continued growth of the Jordan brand have helped make him one of the wealthiest athletes ever. From the outside, his life appears almost perfect. Luxury homes, private travel, business success, worldwide admiration. Yet wealth solves only certain problems. It cannot stop aging. It cannot bring back loved ones. And it cannot recreate the excitement of youth. Today, Jordan lives a dramatically different life from the one fans remember. There are no packed arenas waiting for him every night. No championship games. No roaring crowds celebrating a last-second shot. The routine that defined decades of his life is gone. Instead, his days revolve around business interests, family, personal hobbies, travel, and private pursuits. He remains a public figure, but not in the same way. The center stage he once occupied now belongs to younger generations of athletes. For someone who spent years being the focal point of the sporting world, that transition can be difficult to imagine. Aging presents challenges for everyone, including legends. Decades of elite competition place tremendous stress on the human body. Professional athletes often carry the physical consequences of their careers long after retirement. The explosive leaps, intense training sessions, and countless games that thrilled millions inevitably leave their mark. Jordan has spoken over the years about the realities of getting older and adapting to life beyond competition. The body changes. The energy changes. The world changes. And perhaps most challenging of all, identity changes. Many retired athletes struggle with a question that few people consider. Who are you when the game is over? For Jordan, that question has followed him for years. He will forever be associated with basketball. Millions of fans still see him as the young superstar soaring through the air in a Bulls uniform. But the man himself must live in the present, not in memories. That contrast is one reason some people describe his current life as sad. Not because he lacks success, not because he lacks wealth, not because he lacks admiration, but because extraordinary achievement often comes with extraordinary sacrifice. The higher a person climbs, the fewer people truly understand their experience. The pressure, the expectations, the loneliness that can accompany global fame. The challenge of finding fulfillment after accomplishing nearly every goal imaginable. These are realities many legendary figures quietly face. And yet, despite all of those challenges, Michael Jordan's story remains one of the most remarkable in sports history. He inspired generations. He transformed basketball into a truly global game. He redefined what an athlete could become both on and off the court. His influence can still be seen in arenas, on playgrounds, and in the dreams of young athletes around the world. The boy who once cried after being cut from his high school varsity team became the standard against which greatness is measured. But perhaps the most important lesson from Michael Jordan's life is not about winning championships. It is about understanding the true cost of greatness. Because behind every trophy is sacrifice. Behind every record is struggle. Behind every legendary image is a human being carrying burdens the world rarely sees. Today, Michael Jordan stands not only as one of the greatest basketball players who ever lived, but as a reminder that even the most successful lives are complex. The crowds eventually leave. The games eventually end. The records are eventually broken. But character, perseverance, and legacy endure. And long after the final buzzer sounded, Michael Jordan's greatest achievement may not be the championships he won or the fortune he built. It may be the example he left behind. A story of resilience, determination, and relentless pursuit of excellence that continues to inspire millions. Because while greatness can bring wealth, fame, and admiration, it also demands sacrifices few people will ever fully understand. And that is the powerful, emotional truth behind the life of Michael Jordan.